Conigma Connect. No code, no effort.
First, let's look at some background information regarding the demo landscape. At the top, we see a global template line in which both development and customizing take place. In this example, we have a three-system landscape consisting of development, QA, and production. Through an SAP Cloud ALM feature, a workbench request and a customizing request are provided as sample content. The global developments and customizing changes are rolled out to multiple local lines, which are displayed in the lower section. After development and customizing are completed, the transport requests are released via the feature and imported into the QA system. All required tests are carried out there. Once testing is successful, the objects are imported into the production system. The import into production serves as the trigger for Conigma. As a first step, Conigma creates one feature for each local landscape. These features act as containers for the distributed objects and customizing entries. Conigma then creates transport of copies, one for each local line. These requests are automatically released and transported from global production to the respective local development systems. Immediately after the import, an automated repackaging process is executed. During this process, the transported objects are separated again into a workbench request and a customizing request. This ensures that the global developments are distributed into all local lines, where they can be transported further, together with the corresponding features, into QA and later into production. In summary, Conigma performs the following tasks: creation of features for the local landscapes, consolidation and distribution of the original CTS transports using transports of copies, repackaging of the transports of copies into local transport requests. Let's start by taking a closer look at the system. On the left-hand side, we see a feature that has been developed in the global landscape. This feature has already been successfully tested and is now ready for deployment to production. On the right-hand side, we see the feature list for an example local landscape, which is currently still empty. When we look inside the global feature, we find two transport requests, one workbench request and one customizing request. The customizing request contains the following content. Here we can see a relevant customizing entry. The workbench request contains the following. Here we see two reports. One of them is relevant for cross-landscape distribution, while the other is not. To determine which objects or customizing settings are relevant, a whitelist is defined in Conigma. The following example shows a whitelist that permits one of the two reports as well as the customizing entry we saw earlier. In this simple example, we can see that certain ABAP objects and specific customizing settings are valid for XLD distribution, while all other objects are excluded. In addition to the whitelist approach, a blacklist approach can also be used. As mentioned earlier, there is currently no open feature in the local landscape. The corresponding feature can be automatically created by Conigma once the rollout from the global line to the local line is performed. To start the distribution, we click Deploy to initiate the import into the global production system. After the import completes, it triggers the rollout via a transport of copies. After some time, clicking Refresh confirms that the deployment has been executed. Immediately after deployment, Conigma automatically distributes the relevant changes to the local system lines. Once the distribution is completed, a feature with the suffix local has been created. In addition, two new transport requests originating from the local development system have been generated. These two transports contain the distributed customizing data and objects and are now ready for further processing in the local landscape. When we open the workbench request, we see inside the request, we find the whitelisted report, which has been repacked into the local development system. Next, when we open the customizing request, we see this request contains the relevant table entries exactly as defined by the whitelist. As we have seen, Conigma has performed a fully automated XLD rollout. All relevant transport entries are now prepared and available for testing in the local landscapes before they proceed to production deployment.
Conigma Connect. No code, no effort.